Wait, what?
I'm just kidding. I'm just stupid, okay? I'm nervous. Okay, you guys, we wanted to do a fitness journey video, and then I got to talking, and it was too long. So we're gonna explain this photo. Grit is gonna pull up a photo from my private archives, photos that have never been seen before, and I'm going to explain what they are.
Right.
It's my 10-year fitness anniversary, by the way, you guys. I've been doing fitness shit for 10 years. Let's see, 10 years ago, what was she doing? Explain this
photo of you and Heather.
This is my mom, Heather, and in 2012, one of the big New Year's resolutions that I had was to run a half marathon. Not a marathon, a half marathon. And I think I ran it in 2 hours and 4 minutes. She ran hers in 3 hours and 11 minutes.
That's pretty fast, dang.
I don't think it's that fast.
Someone might call you Usain Bolt.
No. I think it's pretty slow.
Whoa. Okay, gym baddies right here.
This is my first gym baddie pic. These are my friends, Alita and Miriam, and these are my first CrossFit friends. And we did a CrossFit competition. Our team name was the Fruit Loops. And at this point in my life, I was super into CrossFit. My New Year's resolution in 2013 was to do CrossFit and learn how to do it, because I would always see the CrossFit games and I'd be like, they look sick, I want to look like that. And this was me on my mission. The first time I've ever lifted weights. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I remember, in this year I was consistently squatting 65 pounds. Was my max. And I remember coaches being like, you could do 85. And I'm like, no, you're crazy. So yeah, this was the beginning of my CrossFit games, the first time I ever started lifting.
Dang, when I look on CrossFit on Pinterest, that's the photo that comes up.
No way, really?
No. What?
I was so tiny and skinny.
Whoa.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Is this real tan?
That is a brushed tan. Okay, so this is my first and only bodybuilding competition. My New Year's resolution in 2014 was to do a bodybuilding competition. Mm-hmm. So from that last picture through the rest of the year in 2013, I was like, oh, I can actually manipulate how my body looks through lifting and nutrition. I think I did a Whole30 and I ate paleo and I started getting lean. And so I was like, okay, my next logical step is to do a bodybuilding competition. And so that's what I did here. I only got 1 coat of tan, and you're supposed to get multiple coats of tan. So everyone looked like they had the right tan on, and then there was me. So I'm not gonna say that's the only reason why I didn't place or get call-outs in this show, because there are many reasons. But that was my bodybuilding competition in, I think, May of 2014. My decision to do this was, I don't wanna say misinformed, but it was just uninformed. And it wasn't my best moment. I hired a coach 8 weeks prior to the show. You should hire a coach way before that. I didn't have any money, so what did I was probably just not gonna waste money on a coach. But I got super lean, and at the time of the show, I was so ready for it to be over. I hated most of it, especially the nutrition part.
Yeah.
And I had a binge eating disorder. I was on the struggle bus at this point. My posing coach, she was so sweet. She bought me one of those Reese's eggs, the huge Reese's eggs, not the little one. It was this big. And I ate the whole thing at the show.
At the show?
Yes. I had serious problems after that.
Yeah.
I was 119 pounds when I weighed in before that show. And then
you're small.
I was super small. And then 2 weeks later, I was 165.
2 weeks?
Maybe 3 weeks later, I was 165.
Still, that's crazy.
Yeah. Yes.
Were you that heavy prior to cutting?
No.
Oh,
no,
so
you saw the CrossFit picture. I was small.
Yeah, you were already small. Dang.
Yeah. So I had massive weight gain after that.
Okay.
It was not my best moment. I did not love that part of it.
Yeah. 2015.
So that's what I looked at at the end of that year. And that's about my probably 160, 165. I think the heaviest I got was almost 170.
Were you powerlifting?
I did my first meet in December of 2014, and I competed at the 165 pound weight class. Yes, I was first getting into powerlifting. After I gained all that weight, I needed to move away from CrossFit because I couldn't move my body. I couldn't jump around. In those classes are very high impact, and I did not feel comfortable doing that with the new body weight that I had. So I would just go into the gym and squat and then leave and do that for weeks and weeks and weeks. And then eventually I found my way to the powerlifting lifestyle.
Dang, you gave up butterfly pull-ups?
I was pretty good at those. After my first meet in 2014, I knew that I wanted to cut down to the 63 kilo weight class. So I started dieting and reeling it in. I always called it, I'm gonna reel it in. Meaning, I'm not gonna like count my macros and go crazy. I'm just gonna reel it in. Like make common sense diet type approach.
Yeah.
By summer of 2015, I competed at the 63 kilo weight class, and then I qualified for nationals. So I had bigger powerlifting goals, and I was like getting really into powerlifting at this time.
Were you YouTubing yet?
I had a YouTube channel. Yeah, I started doing YouTube and just sort of sharing my lifting journey with people. And in 2015, I qualified for the Arnold too.
Ooh, I know this photo.
Remember when I used to deadlift like that? This is Arnold 2016, so in Columbus, Ohio, which was really cool because to qualify for that is still really big to qualify for like the pro challenge. And that was my interpretation of like making it in powerlifting. I still feel like I haven't made it in powerlifting now, but this was huge for me. I think I have pictures of like Jen Thompson and myself who competed in the competition after me. I was already really serious about lifting at this point in time, but I started to realize like, oh, I can compete. Like how much better can I get? I didn't get that much better, but I kept trying.
That was an iconic belt too, wasn't it?
Yeah, the pink suede double prong insert belt. My dad bought that for me for Christmas one year.
Oh, Blondie Meg.
Oh, 2017, I started becoming more business savvy. And Be More Not Less was not my first experience coaching, but that was when I took on a big, probably like 30 people group, like a cohort of people who were training all together. And they had like an online community where they could speak with each other, but it was one-on-one training. And at the end of Be More, we all met up. And this is like the beginnings of my business, or at least when my business started to have legs.
So was this prior to Stronger by the Day?
Oh yeah. Yeah, Stronger by the Day
this is the foundation.
Stronger by the Day wasn't a thing until after I stopped powerlifting.
This looks like the good old Los Angeles.
Yes. Bart and I did a collab. I think this was the video that we did, and Nadeem was there and Ryan was there, and we had like a fitness challenge. Did you ever see that video?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I think Barbara Brigade like posted it on their channel, right?
Yeah. So I forget their challenges, but we like lifted. We did a max front squat. I taught him how to do bikini show posing. And like pull-ups or something.
I think it was like a pull-up.
That he crushed me on or something like that.
I feel like that was a good YouTube year for you. Like 2019. Oh yeah.
You took that picture. Or maybe this is an iPhone version.
This is an iPhone one, yeah.
Yeah. This is when Ryan and I got engaged. Grid was there. And we went to Hawaii. After 2018, I was done powerlifting. I needed a break. I was burnt out. I was dealing with some like friendships that were kind of ending too. So I was just ready to like let go of a lot of things in my life and look forward to what was next. Before this, we were kind of barely getting by. Like in 2017, we were kind of like scraping by. Same in 2018. And then we decided to make Stronger by the Day. And so that was huge for us because, I mean, not to say we got engaged because Stronger by the Day became a thing, but it's sort of like, oh, when you figure out your thing that you're gonna do for life and for work, you're like, oh, everything else seems possible to me. Like starting a family, like, moving on in other ways. So we got engaged and you were there to witness the moment. Yeah, this was kind of the beginning of the era of like working on my personal life. So it was no longer about like powerlifting, and my focus wasn't so much on sports. Even though fitness was very important to me, I was training to live my life, still be strong. Like strength has always been at the forefront of everything that I do, training wise, but I was able to take a breath and enjoy.
I think that was like a pivotal year for you. Like it was, you guys took all your businesses and ran with it.
Yeah.
And kind of just committed to that because we were working a lot together too at that time.
Yeah, in California. So this is in our house in Texas.
Yeah.
That's when we moved to Texas, and you can't see in this picture, but the house is empty. There's like mirrors on the floor and stuff.
And COVID hit.
And then COVID happened. So I think this transformation was partly to do with the fact that I did keto, so I got super lean. Because I was like, what the hell am I going to do during COVID? I could still lift because we didn't have all this equipment at the time, but we had like some squat racks and some plates and barbells, so we just lifted our faces off. And I tried keto, and that was kind of fun.
I think I remember you doing that for a while.
Yeah.
Because I came over, and you were like, we're doing keto. And I was like, fine.
Here's some heavy cream.
Let me find a juicy one.
Oh, God.
Did you get lipo? Yo, be honest with me.
You should know that that's clickbait. I'm sure somebody did actually ask me that. But see, I was doing keto. So the next video is I tried keto, so I just got lean for the first time in probably years. So no, I did not get lipo. It's the big secret.
So 2020, you got pretty lean?
Yeah. Also, like, there was nothing to do.
Yeah.
I could also use that as an excuse to like eat a lot, but I needed a little bit of a challenge. That was like a mini challenge that I did.
Oh, 2021.
Ooh, I think that was on New Year's when I posted the I'm pregnant video, and our announcement will end up with New Year's. So by that time when I announced I was like 12 weeks pregnant, so 2021 was all about continuing my pregnancy and having a baby. And also we launched Buff Chick and this time too. So lots going on. Yeah.
Lots going on.
I found out I was pregnant at the Buff Chick first photo shoot. You were in town.
Yeah, I know. She like spat out her pre-workout right after. She was dry scooping and she was like,
I probably shouldn't do that.
Yeah, I probably shouldn't do that. Spat it out.
I had some suspicions.
2021, you also convinced me to move.
Now that was when things really started getting good in life.
No.
But yeah, I had Emerald in July of 2021. And then 2021, the rest of that year was just about recovering postpartum. And I didn't place any stress on myself to, like, I managed my expectations, I think. And so it is cool to look back, like, my body looks so different now. And even though I had 6 months of like postpartum recovery, whereas some people expect after 6 months of having their baby, they should be back to where they started. And for me, that wasn't my experience. I didn't really set that as a goal for myself. And I'm a human. There were moments or days where I felt like, I wish I was, back there, but I had a baby. What do you expect? Like whatever sacrifices I made in how my body looked were like well worth having a baby and having her in my life and getting to be a part of her life.
You really took time to be like, my body will change the way it's going to change.
Yeah. I mean, if anything, a fitness journey is that. And I wish I had the same perspective when I was really struggling with body dysmorphia, because I think I would have allowed myself to eat what I wanted rather than trying to appear like I was on track and then eating in secret when I was not around people.
Yeah.
That lack of acceptance as to the reality that like, okay, I was really lean and now it's time for me to move away from that. That was what held me back in my fitness journey. That is what kind of resulted in a rapid weight gain, because I developed a disorder as well. And so I wish I could have experienced that with the perspective that I do have now. But everything happens for a reason is a cliche, but that taught me lessons as well.
I think it set you up for where you're at right now.
Yeah. And also I have empathy for some of the people that I meet in my job and some of the people that comment on my videos or on posts. Like, I know what they are going through. Like, I know that feeling when you're just looking at something and it's like, no, literally, I cannot stop my hand.
Yeah.
It's beyond my control. So I think it's a good lesson in empathy. And if you're going to be a coach and help people, not that I can help people with a disorder like that, but I can meet them with understanding when they're struggling with whatever fitness goal it may be. After you're having a baby, you feel a lot of pressure to like go back to who you were. Just like I felt a lot of pressure to like go back to being lean Meg. It's just not realistic. You're gonna have seasons of being super consistent in the gym, and then something's gonna happen in life where you're not consistent in the gym. You're gonna have seasons where or even weeks at a time where you're really on track with your diet, and then maybe there's a week where you just can't make it work. your body is always going to be fluctuating. It's never going to stop fluctuating. So understanding that you can always start again tomorrow, or you can always make your next decision can be in line with what you want, like that opportunity is always going to be there.
All right, 2022, big year. Big business year, big YouTube year.
This is when we became Army fitness pros, dog.
Okay, taking the ACFT, or you took the APFT again.
Mm-hmm.
And then?
Yes, so in the summer, why did we decide to do this in June? So that would have been a year postpartum. I was like ready for a challenge. And I knew I didn't want to go back to powerlifting. I still know I don't want to go back to powerlifting now. And I was feeling an itch, though, to be competitive in some way. And I think that was a perfect answer because we had this old video that we did years ago with my little brother who's in the Army still. I wanted to like recreate it or try their new test that they're rolling out because it's more interesting than the old one. And I thought it was something that I could actually train for and have a goal, and it incorporated running, which if we go back to the beginning of my fitness journey, I was obviously interested in running. I'd run cross country in college and in high school, and it was a cool way to bring that part of my life back. And it's just been this year, but I still am running. Like I ran today. Did you run today?
Yo, the moment I stopped filming, I stopped running. I was like, oh.
Well, we'll go back to it.
We'll get back to it.
When it's warmer.
Yeah.
Just like there's seasons. It's like, you don't have to be running when it's 40 degrees outside, is my honest belief. But it was cool to do something challenging and hard and push ourselves outside of the gym. Yeah. So I really appreciated that. And yeah, there is no shortage of different avenues that you can take in your fitness journey. I think finding a balance of some cardio or conditioning and some resistance training is going to be in the best interest of people for their health and wellness, and maybe aesthetics too. Finding a balance of training strength-wise, getting stronger, and exercising your heart is going to be what I would suggest everyone do.
And honestly, even though it was during the summer, it was really fun.
Yeah?
I mean, there was like some days where I was like, oh God, like we really have to do this.
Yeah.
But it was fun because it's like I also miss competing. I miss that sense of competing. So it was fun to like actually, I wasn't competing against anybody, but I had to be there for you. So
yeah.
So it was really fun to do.
What are we gonna do in 2023?
CrossFit Games.
Or perhaps you might not do this, but I might have another baby.
Oh.
Probably not have it in 2023, but try to make one with him over there. Yeah. See if he's down.
I'll ask him later.
But maybe that might be on my radar. That's kind of why every once in a while I still get the question like, oh, will you ever do a bodybuilding show or will you ever do powerlifting again? And that's not a huge priority to me because for bodybuilding, for instance, if you're going to do that, you just can't do a bodybuilding show and have a baby in the same year. Yeah. It's just not practical.
Maybe we commit to like a half marathon.
That would be fun.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's like not a full marathon.
Oh, I have a couple of New Year's resolutions.
Yeah.
I'm gonna volunteer. So I'm volunteering with an organization called Girls on the Run. And you meet with like either elementary school or middle schoolers, and you have like a program where you run with them and you teach them like leadership skills.
That's fun.
Yeah. So I'm gonna do that. Maybe that'll get me more inspired to run too.
Yeah.
They do a 5K at the end of the season.
Okay.
So you can do the 5K with me.
I can do the 5K.
Yeah. We can do a 5K. Like, we can just show up.
We could do 5K. Also, your 2022 looks like a good year of collaborations.
Ooh, yeah.
With some OGs, some new faces.
Yep. We did Dana Lynn Bailey. We collaborated with Max Tuning, with Steffi Cohen. We collaborated with Julie Renee. She's a new face in the industry. She's awesome. Maddie Forberg. She's in between. She's like Gen Z, but kind of OG, you know what I mean? I know her from powerlifting days with Alex. We did all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, it was a pop in summer.
It was a pop in summer.
Yeah.
It gets depressing when it's cold here, though.
Yeah. We haven't been filming much, guys. Catch her on TikTok though.
Yeah.
That's where our winters are on TikTok and Instagram.
Exactly.
YouTube is for the summer. 2023, what other plans you got?
Well, right now we're doing deadlift queen, so I do want to hit a big deadlift, which is less daunting of a goal than like doing a full powerlifting meet. So I will be maxing out my deadlift at the end of January. If you guys want to join deadlift queen, it's there. Come on over to Strong by the Day. And then I gotta get jacked for my wedding.
We'll talk about that later.
We'll talk about that later in another video.
Yeah.
After the deadlift 1 rep max test, we're basically going to plan for our next macro cycle, which will be, it'll line up so that the end of that big program will be wedding week. If you didn't know, Ryan and I have put off having a wedding because of COVID, and I didn't want to plan a wedding during all that, so we had a baby instead. That was fine. So yeah, I'm gonna get married in Mexico in April. Let's go! So yeah, that's not a big fitness goal. I feel like if I showed up in my current physique, I'd be like, yeah, that's good. I don't want to get too jacked and busting on my wedding dress, but
then
that'd be a good story.
You gotta pay for alterations again.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's our flashback. Hopefully you guys enjoyed seeing a peek at 10 years of Megsquat. Let me know what your 2023 goals are, and let me know how long you've been around. Were you there for the cringy posts on Instagram that I shared 8 years ago?
I'm friends with you on Facebook, so yeah, I was there. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not there.
We'll see you guys in the next video. Bye. Okay, we did it. I like how Ryan comes out, he's like, that was 2018.